The problem in Nigeria is not legislation. We have wonderful environmental laws. We have good legislation. For example, even the Criminal Act in Nigeria, before we even had environmental protection laws or guidelines and standards for protection of the environment or national policy on the environment, which was launched in 1990, before then, Nigeria's Criminal Act says that anybody who vitiates or fouls the atmosphere is liable to either jail or fine. And unknown to many Nigerians and the global community, Chief M.K.O. Abiola, who won the election that was annulled, actually took somebody to court in the 60s for violating his air right by fouling the air with the smell from his poultry farm. And Chief Abiola won the case and he received the fine. So you can imagine in the 60s, a Nigerian, knowing such a law exists, warned his neighbor never to foul the air with the odor from the poultry, and he took the fellow to court, and he won. All these are documented at the Institute of Advanced Legal Studies in University of Lagos, where they study law. We have all the laws, but the problem is this, enforcement. But I must say in the beginning, the Federal Environmental Protection Agency, under Dr. Evans Ano, traveled around the country. I was part of the team. On a regular basis, we traveled, enlightening industries all over the country. I have photographed all the industries we visited, from north to south, Port Harcourt, even the fertilizer company, the tannery industries in Kano, because these industries differ in their pollution depending on what they produce. In Lagos, we went all over Lagos. In Ilorin, I remember we were going from Ilorin to Benue Cement Company. We had an accident. Dr. Aino almost died. Also in Calabar, we went to an industry that was polluting the air with 30 bags of cement dust every hour. So the laws are there. And I was there when Dr. Aino, it was stern. And the law was, if you pollute the air or release effluents from textile industry, especially in Kaduna and Lagos, that has about 60% of industries in Nigeria, the chief executive of the company will be fined 500,000 naira, which is a lot of money, and was still a lot of money for every day the pollution persists. Secondly, the man who is the chief executive of the industry is also liable to jail for 2 years. So, Dr. Aino sensitized every part of Nigeria. And in fact, the directors of the companies were on their toes, and they were installing pollution abatement equipment. We had colonial laws that also tackled environmental issues. We had sanitary inspectors in the 1980s, 1990s. And so there's no reason why Nigeria cannot carry out enforcement. Now the problem is we also have new agencies under the civilian regime. Like I was saying, before then, we had a maximum ruler called General Abacha, notorious for his quest to accumulate wealth. His regime was responsible for the importation of toxic fuel into Nigeria. So, which the fuel that was contaminated and the fume was noxious to the nostrils and people were vomiting in vehicles. So, but when the head is rotting, the whole body is bad. So, at that time, enforcement began to dwindle. And by the time the civilian came, Obasanjo tried to have Nestria and Nostra to check oil spills as well as enforce standards. But we still need more action from these two agencies under the Federal Ministry of Environment to be able to enforce both oil spills, take oil companies that are violators to court, and again, enforce it in industries. I mean, I have nostalgia for FEPA days. I wish industrial owners, I wish oil companies will be on their toes when they hear that Nestria is coming or Nostra is coming. The same way in those days when they had FEPA or Dr. I know was coming. Everybody was on his toe. And I think it has to do with leadership. And because some of the crop of experts that went to form NUSTRA and NOSDRA were also old FEPA staff. So I think it has to do with leadership. The leadership has to be stern. And that's the way I look at it.